Welcome. It's Friday the 13th, and we've got a surprise for you today. We haven't done a potluck in a while, so I put together 20 different conversations that we've worked on over the last couple of weeks. If you want potluck, I can give you potluck. You're going to give me a number, and I'm going to go to that number, and we'll work on that conversation. But first of all, I want to welcome you guys to question-based listening enhanced conversations. And another way to state it, we are going to be practicing conversational listening. Many of you guys are pretty experienced at talking, asking questions. Maybe the skill you need to work on is listening. And if you're watching this by YouTube and you want to join us live, there's the QR code. You can go to dennysmastery.com and get on live as well. And finally, if you haven't already, go to my YouTube channel. Denny Grimes, the Mastery of Real Estate. I've got several hundred videos there that will help you with your conversation so you can be a conversation master. We had a request from the crowd. Carrie had a question to ask. It's a good question. And if I get this right, Carrie, she wants to know, all right, so she's doing a lot of calls and doesn't always get a response. It goes to voicemail. Now, a lot of people have asked me, should you leave a voicemail or not? Well, Carrie has been leaving them a voicemail, I think, and it's not working. So let's help her, and this may help you on what you decide to do. So, Carrie, come off mute just for a second and share with us. I want you to call me. I'm going to give you my voicemail recording. I'll make it up and leave the message you normally leave. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Ring, ring. Hi, this is Denny. Thanks for calling. Sorry I can't get with you right now. However, I will call you as soon as I get back. Remember, wait for the beep. Beep. Okay.
Hi, this is Carrie Newell. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams. I see that your home is no longer on the market, and I was interested in finding out whether you're still interested in selling. Please give me a call at your earliest convenience. My number is blah, blah, blah.
Okay. There you go. Pretty benign kind of message to the point. That's why I'm calling. So then I ask, okay, so here's something I want you guys to use to evaluate whether or not what you're doing is working. I mean, nothing works in small numbers. You have to have large numbers. So I said, well, how many times have you done that? How many messages have you left? And Carrie, your answer is?
It was about 100, maybe a little less.
Okay, so now she's got a population of 100. That's rather significant. And she's not having anybody call her back. And she has had no response. So I would say that's probably a sign, Matt, that the message isn't working. Did you happen to catch that? Were you on in time to hear that?
I did not. I just got on.
Okay.
Shoot.
We'll have to get you a little more accurate clock.
Yeah,
basically, she's leaving a message. Hey, this is Carrie, Denny Grime. I mean, this is Carrie. I'm a local realtor. I see your home is expired. And if you need some help, I'm here. Give me a call back.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, I wouldn't call you back either. Less is more. Less is more. Hey, it's Matthew Keller Williams. So I cannot confirm or deny the types of messages that I leave because I wouldn't advocate for it. But you would say, hey, it's Matthew Keller Williams. Call me as soon as you get this, and then leave your number.
Okay.
Okay.
So what type of response do you get?
When I keep it as vague as possible, and also like they sound like they know me, because think about it this way: if you were the person receiving the message, would you call that person back? No, you wouldn't. Unless, well, no, you wouldn't call them back. Let's just leave it at that. You wouldn't call them back. But if I get a message from Dawn and Dawn's like, and I don't necessarily know Dawn, but I get a message and it's like this: hey, Matthew, it's Dawn Keller Williams. Give me a call as soon as you get this. And then he leaves his number, and that's it. I wonder what Dawn wants. I don't know who the heck Dawn is. And the funny thing is, Denny asked me what type of responses I get. I might, one day I did it really vague. I got 13 callbacks. One day, and then most days sometimes I'll get text messages. Well, who's Matt? and how can I help or whatever. And I'll engage via text if they won't answer the phone. But keeping it vague, you at least it will elicit some type of response because they're curious to who you are.
So Don, you have your hand up you must have a question or statement, right?
Yeah, Carrie, in the old days, I left lots of messages for sale by owners and expires and cancels. And as I put in the text, over the years, I'm sure I've left thousands of messages. By the time I listen to their long message, I wait for the beep and then I leave my message. That could be 2 minutes, and the calls back are minimal. So I agree with Matt that just leave a very basic message like that, and you may get a call back saying, "Who are you?" versus spilling everything. That doesn't surprise me that you went 0 for 100. I've gone 0 for thousands. I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of difference between what Carrie is leaving as a message and you walking into Sears and somebody coming up and ask you, "Hey, can I help you?" You automatically say no. I will give you one more tip that I've learned that I think is kind of cool. When you're doing database follow-up, if you're doing lead generation, okay, now let's say you're doing database follow-up, you're going to get voicemail sometime. Maybe it's somebody you met at an open house, so you're rather following up. And you're going to find out, hey, maybe form a relationship. Well, it gets to be a little bit tenuous because if you call and you're always scratching your head, should I leave a message or not? And if I leave a message and they don't call me back, if I call them again, they're going to label me a stalker. Mm-hmm. So someone taught me some time ago to go something like this. "Oh, hey, Matt, this is Denny. We met at the open house on Sunday over there on the waterfront home. I'm just calling to give a little update. I've talked to the sellers and I have some answers to the questions that you asked. And here's my number. And I know you're busy. And so don't worry about calling me back. I will follow up with a call to you tomorrow." Mm-hmm. So you warn them, I use that word, you let them know that you will be calling back. Mm-hmm. You don't have the stalker label. So between leaving a message and not, I think Matt and Don gave good advice. Be general and don't tell them what you're calling about because you're going to be one of 50 calls. I would like to, okay, on Matt's first one, "Hey, this is Matt, call me back." That's what he maybe said he did. I want him to role play it. I'm going to call him because I just may be a little upset that he misled me.
Oh, yeah. I don't get a lot. I don't get a lot of that though, but we can role play it.
All right. Hey, ring, ring.
This is Matthew. How may I help you?
Now notice okay. So he didn't even give it away yet. I wonder if he answers all of his phone calls like that. Like I typically go, "Hey, Denny, this is Denny. Can I help you?" Or Denny Keller Williams. Okay, so he didn't let the cat out of the bag yet. Yeah, you called my home and asked me to give you a call, and I was just kind of curious what you're calling about.
Oh yeah, you're right. I called you earlier this morning. Is that right?
It was today, yes.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, I'll tell you first. I'm a realtor. I'm sure your phone's busier than a bee in a flower shop. Can I borrow 30 seconds from you? And if it's not relevant, we can, excuse me, sorry. And if it's not relevant, I'll be the first person to hang up.
All right. Now, what this is turning into, you guys, is a lead gen call second degree. The first one, he left a cracker. A coupon he has to call to redeem, and now he's having the lead gen call. So notice what he did. We always talk about having the bull ride, creating a little pattern interrupt, and he threw it in there. Hey, can we have 30 seconds and you can figure out if it's relevant or not. Mm-hmm. So Carrie, your conversation wouldn't work if you got him on the phone.
Because they already know why.
Right.
Yep. So and sorry, I don't know what I choked on there, but yeah, when they call back, they'll just say, "Yeah, you called me earlier." Well, they don't even know if it's about their home because I just say, "Hey, it's Matthew. Call me as soon as you get this," and I leave my number. Sometimes I won't even leave my number because we all have caller ID, right? When my mom calls me, she doesn't say, "Hey, it's Mom. Call me at 941, blah blah blah." She'll just say, "It's Mom. Call me." So what I'll just say is like, hey, it's Matthew. Call me when you get this. See ya. Hang up. Well, then when they call back, then they'd say, hey, you called me earlier on whatever. And I'd say, oh, yep, I called you this morning, didn't I? Well, hey, my name's Matthew with Keller Williams. I'm sure that your phone's being bombarded this morning. Can I borrow 30 seconds from you? And if it's not relevant, I'll be the first person to hang up.
That's the key. That's the key. Most people would give you 30 seconds. If they don't, they just don't. Whenever you're making calls to people that you don't have permission for a two-way conversation, you had better get to the point quickly and create some sort of parameters. Hey, do you have a few minutes, Matt? I'd like to ask you 15 questions.
Right. No, bye.
Right.
Or I'm sorry, I'll let Carrie give me 1 second. Or when they call back and you just go into a sales pitch about their house, you get permission. Actually, no, don't get permission. This is the way I explain it to my clients, my coaching clients. Give them permission to exit the call. Don't get the permission to speak. Give them permission to exit the call. And that's kind of what I do by, hey, I'll tell you really quickly why I called. If it's not relevant, I'll hang up, or you can hang up on me.
Yeah. Yep. There you go. So today we're having a special, Matt, you got on a little bit late. We are going to do kind of potluck. I have arranged 20 different conversations. We've worked on all of these over the last several weeks. So Don is watched in the chat. Put your name in the chat if you'd like, if you want potluck or if you have something specific. And so if you want potluck, just give me a number 1 to 20.
Carrie, was there something that you wanted to wrap up with there?
Yeah, it was just that personally, if someone calls me and leaves a message, hi, this is Carrie, give me a call back. If I don't know them, I'm not going to give them a call back unless they say why they're calling. But I'm glad it works for you, and I'll give that a try.
Right. And that's why I say it's not for Carrie. I make 400 dials a day. Do I get 400 callbacks a day? No, I might get 5. So yeah, there's going to be 372 carries that don't call me back. That's okay.
Okay.
But you're going to get 0 callbacks if you go into the tirade that we talked about. It's Carrie with Keller Williams Realty. Saw your house came off the market. Wanted to see blah, blah, blah. It's like you get nobody.
And you're not leaving 400 minutes worth of messages to them, wasting your time.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a good line of work, you guys. Come on, you guys, put in the chat who wants to go. Let's have some conversation. Here's something that might work. Hi, this is Denny. I found your puppy. Give me a call back. Here's my number.
I found your wallet.
Yeah.
I found your American Express card in the mall.
All right. Don, do you see is Robert the one that's up?
Sure. Robert.
All right,
12.
Robert, you're up.
12.
And here it is, number 12.
Tom Brady's number 12.
All right. You've seen this before. You're role playing with Don. Robert, what do you think the market will do this year?
All right.
Hey,
so Don, I can't tell you what it's going to do for sure. What are you hoping that it might do?
You can tell. Sorry, let me throw a flag real quick. You can tell them what it's going to do. You can. It's going to change.
Okay.
It depends.
Yeah, I can tell you it's going to change. The question is.
Actually, ironically enough, we just sat through a state of the market in my office like 3 days ago, and they're saying in my market it's not going to change.
So, well, but it is. Sorry. All right. So step aside from the role play real quick. Robert, I want you to role play this, and I'm sure Denny does too. Guys, the market, regardless of what you sit through these sales calls and you listen to Lawrence Hune talk about what he thinks is going to happen, chief economist for NAR, by the way, it always changes. Look at your market stats from month to month. The average sales were down by 30% last month in my area, and inventory is up by whatever percent this month. It always changes. Now, are your values going to go up by 27% this year? No. But I know unequivocally, Robert, the market's going to change. The question is it going to change in your benefit? And then my follow-up to him would be, what would a change that would be beneficial to you look like?
Okay. Very good. All right.
So what do you think the market will do this year, Robert?
Well, Don, we know the market's going to change. But tell me, what change would be beneficial to you?
Oh, one that raises the price of my house so I could sell it.
Okay. Okay. And where do you feel as though the price of your home is currently?
Not what I want to be. What do you think?
It's hard to say at this point in time without knowing the home. But what price would be beneficial to you to get for the home?
Well, the last agent that I happened to talk to at an open house last weekend told me, oh yeah, when I asked him that same exact question, he goes, well, based on the comps and based on my experience, I think the market's going to bring you $500,000 for your house. I'm not selling it at 500.
Okay.
So
And
you can't tell me like he did.
well, I mean, I guess my question is, you were at an open house. How quickly did he pull comps on your house? Do you feel
Oh,
as though he was just blowing smoke up your rear?
A lot
One
of
question.
it, and you guys, I mean, if you're in an elevator or sitting down having lunch or at a table where they're a potential seller, this conversation would vary a lot based on those situations,
Mhm.
right? If you're in an elevator, you've got a little bit of time. So I'm kind of curious, because you had some instruction that said your market wasn't going to change. So prior to Matt giving you, this is what we worked on before. It was one of our standard lines. The market's going to change, or I could say, well, it really depends on what side of the coin you're looking at. How would you have that conversation based on that the information you received from the training you were at that said the market wasn't going to change? How would you give me the first 45 seconds of that conversation?
I
So
love this.
what do you think the market's going to do this year, Robert? You're talking to me.
Well, indicators, I mean, based upon trends, show that the market will stay fairly stable as to where it's at currently. Now, that may change based upon if something was to go different, majorly different with the interest rates.
All right, hang on a minute. So if they're asking you to predict the future, this question is about predicting the future. Which one is more accurate? It's going to be stable or it's going to change.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. Because Robert, where Denny's going is, if we go with the if we opine, there's a good word for you. If we opine on how it's going to be a lot like it's been this last year, and it doesn't, guess who they don't trust anymore?
Right. Right. Yeah.
Well, what's interesting though, and we'll go on. Who's next?
Well, Tanner wanted to do that same one. Would you allow him to do that?
We could do it, but here's the thing.
Okay.
When you say the market's going to be stable, stable does not mean it doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It just doesn't move crazy.
Right.
Which we don't want it to. You never want it to.
So would it not be better to say, well, it's going to change?
Tanner, mute yourself real quick. You got real bad reverb, brother.
Sorry.
Yeah. All right.
Go ahead.
Right. Yeah, that makes total sense. Thank you.
Yeah, and Robert, the reason why I'm a little more gruff with you when I give you this feedback is because you've gotten so much better at having good conversations. The last thing I want you to do is go down a path of, oh crap. Remember the famous last words of real estate I've used on here many times, but you said.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing about this conversation is yesterday I had a conversation with a listing just north of Denny, and we talked about a range for his condo, and he was getting frustrated, and I excuse my French, I buried his ass. I sent him into a corner because I said, I said, it sounds like you're getting frustrated. Would you like to end the call? And he said, well, are you getting smart with me? And I said, no, but it sounds like you're getting frustrated. And the last thing I want to do is you be frustrated with me. If you'd like to end the call, we can. He said, well, you're not giving me a number. I knew why he was frustrated, guys. But I was pulling it out of him. You're not giving me a number. You're giving me a range. He said, I've talked to other realtors before and they'll give me a number. I said, do you know the difference between the 1,000 other realtors that will give you a number and me? He said, no. I said, they've never sold homes in a declining market. I have. I can't give you a number because if I give you a number right now and it doesn't sell for that in 6 months when your condo's not sold, guess what you're going to say? Matthew, you said, and he was silent for a good 25 seconds.
Yeah. And I'm shocked. I mean, unless it was on the market before, you're on the phone. You're not even in the home. I mean, how would you know what he's dying of unless you at least examined it? And by the way, I love parallels, you guys, and we were doing the Olympic parallels. So if you could do an Olympic parallel today, that would be awesome. The first thing that came to my mind before we go on to the next one, Tanner, is, well, I would have said something like this, Matt. Well, okay, when you watch the weather report and you wanted to know what the temperature is going to be maybe on Wednesday next week, would you expect a weather person to tell you that?
Mm-hmm.
And if they did tell you, they would give you a what?
Range.
Mm-hmm. See, range is okay. Range is not putting your fingerprints on it because you are giving the range based on what is knowable. Data points in the past are knowable. Comps, I hate the word, but data points. Does that make sense? So, Tanner, do you want the same thing or you want 1 to 20?
No, I just wanted to share, how we handle this because this is a very common thing that I hear. I'm sure a lot of people just want to, share and see what do you think about it. So, you said what do you think about the market we'll do this year?
Yeah, that's Matt is saying that to you, and you're role playing with Matt.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So Matt, there's a lot of speculations and talks about the market, and it can be scary, And in reality, homes are selling every day, every month. And I personally believe the opportunity is not really timing the market, but having the right strategy, whether you're buying or selling. And I'm just curious, why are you asking?
Okay, he's role playing with you. He hasn't said a word yet. I'm gonna say, okay, you broke the rule of 20 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, I do this for a living, and I'm not quite sure what you were saying there. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not quite sure what the point you were conveying was, and I do this every day.
Where's that
So
coming from, guys?
the thing is, when people ask,
It's coming from Tanner. I think Tanner's got his. He doesn't have his earbuds in, so it's going through his speakers.
oh, okay, so I gotta change that. I'm gonna disconnect myself and reconnect.
Yeah, go throw your earbuds in and then come back. We'll talk about it.
Who's next? Susan's always ready to go. What's
Nina,
up, Susan?
Nina
Nina.
wants an expired that's going to a for sale by owner.
I don't think we've done that. So,
Oh, that's what you put in the chat. Is that what you want to do?
yeah, let's try it.
Or do you want to pick a number from Denny?
No. Let's do the one she's got. That's fine. All right, let's
All
go. You're calling me. Hey, Nina, thanks. I appreciate your call. You're like number 99. But I've had my fill up to with real estate agents. I'm sorry to say that. You're probably a nice person. So I'm just going to go buy and sell it on my own.
Okay, I hear you, Denny. Selling it on your own. Help me understand what you mean by you had your fill. What does that mean?
What does what mean?
You said you had your fill with the real estate agents. What does that mean?
Well, as you see, it's been on the market 900 days. So I'm just going to try to sell it myself. I am going to sell it myself. I mean, So I've had bad experiences, so I'm just going to do it on my own.
So the bad experiences that you had. Well, what kind of circumstances did you have in the past since you had an agent that's caused you to decide that you don't need an agent anymore?
You're losing him.
Okay, I'll get less ridiculous. It's been 6 months and my house is still for sale. So do you really have to ask me that question?
It's been 6 months. That's a long time. Have you had experience in the past, Mr. Denny, with selling houses on your own?
I've sold, well, no, but I watch a lot of YouTube.
You watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube too. I've been
Guy
watching
named
the
Denny.
Olympics. I've been watching a lot of Olympics. Well, I have no doubt, Mr. Denny, you probably can sell that on your own, but how quickly do you want to get this property sold?
Well, I wanted to get it sold rather quickly about 6 months ago, but it didn't happen. So anyway, that's kind of what I want to do. Unless you want to try to talk me out of it, I'll give you 30 seconds to give me one compelling reason why I shouldn't give up on real estate agents altogether.
Well, the only reason I was going to ask you is if you have some new strategies that you have in mind that might work this time that didn't work
You
the
have
first
30
time.
seconds to give me one.
Well, that'd be something we'd have to talk about, Mr. Denny, and we can see what didn't work with you when you had the agent before. But I'd be glad to do that.
Well, you have like 25 seconds now. You're still not giving me a compelling reason to talk to you.
I'm not giving you a compelling
Denny,
reason.
You watch the Olympics?
Denny, do you
No,
watch the Olympics?
I watch the highlights on YouTube in the morning.
Yeah,
I
but
like,
I'm sure. But here, I'm helping you, Nina.
thank you.
Denny, you watch the Olympics. I mean, but you're probably for your country, right? So you want to see America on the podium.
Yeah.
When they're not on the podium, do you just give up on America altogether?
I don't quite understand the relationship actually. So try
Well,
again.
but if America doesn't medal, if we don't get gold, silver, or bronze,
All right.
you don't say, forget it. We're never going back to the Olympics again. Give up.
I got it. So he normally would be using a restaurant example, but he's using the Olympics because we're looking for parallels on the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tried it.
Good.
All right. Go to the restaurant.
So Denny, do you like pizza?
Yeah, I love pizza.
You ever had a bad one?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I imagine so. I mean, some have been better than others.
Was that the last pizza you ever ate?
No.
Right. So realtors are a lot like pizza, Denny. You're going to come across, well, frankly, they're a lot like pizza, but you're going to come across a lot more bad realtors than you will good ones.
Well, that's something we can agree on. I think real estate agents are very cheesy.
Yep. They can just like a good pizza. But ultimately, does that mean we give up on them? No, that just means we find a pizza joint or a realtor that delivers a quality product, quality service on a consistent basis, and we stick to them like glue or like the cheese on a pizza.
Yeah, speaking of which, I've had pizza taste like glue. So what he did was sometimes when people, I was being pretty direct, but I mean, it's kind of a natural style for me. I gave her an opportunity, 30 seconds. In my opinion, for my personality, if you give me some, I don't care what you say to try to get to me. If you can't give me a cookie inside of 30 seconds, I'll be done. The best way to do it is with a parallel. There's the Olympics, there's a restaurant, there's dating. I mean, how many, man, you look like the type of guy, Matt, you've been dumped a lot in your life, but you didn't give up, did you? You
Nope.
found someone to marry you.
Third time's a charm, baby.
So rather than go blah, 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 I sell 50 houses a month, the decision isn't about you personally. It's about the real estate agent in general. Remember the 5 mindsets of a lead. He's going back to get me. You didn't give up on pizza because you had a bad experience. So that is the best way to do it. And there's a bazillion of them. And you get bonus points from us if you use a parallel in our conversations. So who's next?
Anybody that you want to pick on?
Well, there's somebody in there. Tom Baker. Oh, I see.
We got Tom
right,
Baker. We got Fan.
Thomas.
Hi there. Good
What
afternoon.
number do you want?
I'm just gonna listen right now. I'm getting some good stuff, good comedy coming through.
Oh, you got the comedy, that's for sure.
You
All
got
right.
Susan and Fan.
Fan, you want a number?
Well, I just joined. What number do I have?
Pick 1 to
1 to
20.
20.
6.
Oh boy. Good for you. All right. And this is a seller you're talking to. And they say, Don, what?
I can't afford to keep it. However, I'm not gonna give it away. Come on.
Okay, Don. You can't afford to keep it. What does that mean?
Well, I can't afford to keep it because these payments they're crushing us. And I don't want to give it away to somebody.
Would you unpack for me what is crushing you? How it crushes? What happened?
Well, we can't afford this payment for very much longer. Then we're gonna be behind. I don't want to do that.
Okay. So, after a little while, is that something that's gonna happen to y'all if you stop paying that?
Well, as far as I know, I think the mortgage company's gonna be knocking on my door if I don't.
They might want their house back.
Yeah.
Interesting. The mortgage company is gonna lock your door. Okay.
No,
So,
hey, Van, I got to help you, brother. Find out how much runway he has left.
Yeah.
Because he even dropped the hint for you. We can't afford to
did.
keep it. Then he said,
Couple of months.
a couple months, right? So, but he can't pay it much longer. How much longer can we afford to keep this going?
Well,
That's
I can't.
Ken.
It's only just a couple more months. At $6,000 a month. This has to sell by the end of June, or we're in big trouble.
I mean, I'm with you, Don. I mean, if I were you, I wouldn't want to give it away. So, uh, you know, then at the end of the day, the mortgage companies like, what are you gonna do after you lose the house?
Whoa.
Oof. Wow. Well, I'm not planning on losing the house. Now you're getting me upset. I'm looking for an answer. I'm not going to lose it, but there's got to be an alternative. I don't want to give it away at that price.
Go ahead, Denny.
Yeah, Fan, that was a fastball. But what's going through my mind is when someone doesn't want to do something, what is their alternative?
Yeah, that was I'm speechless right now because Fan, tactical and radical empathy. When he says couple more months and I'm out of, there's more month at the end of the money kind of thing. Okay, what's the other option, Don? In a few more months when we run out of money or we can't afford to pay the payments, however they phrase it, what's the next thing you're going to do? Not what are you going to do when you lose the house?
Yeah, what are your options, Don? What are your other options?
I feel like I built the pen a little bit too much. I'm sorry,
well,
guys.
you just punched him in the face.
Yeah.
Remember, it's never what we say, it's what they hear. To him, you just told him you're losing the home. So maybe you don't use those exact words, but remember, it's never what you say, it's what the person hears.
Let me give me a minute, Don. Mm-hmm. So what's your alternative?
Jeez. I really don't think anybody's going to give me a second or a third loan on this when I'm behind in payments. I guess I'm just going to have to find somebody that will buy it at that time.
Okay. And if no one is there to buy it, but before you run out of runway, what's your next plan?
Well, I don't know. I'm looking for a solution. I guess I've heard of people that stay in their house for a year before they get kicked out, but I really don't want to go down that path.
Okay. It's kind of like trying to get into your phone. You'll see me do this a lot. You need 4 numbers to open up your password. And basically, if you get the right numbers on your house, you're going to be able to get out of this pickle. My question is, are you willing to put the right numbers on your house?
Yeah, eventually I guess I'm gonna have to.
Well, okay. Now, and then notice that's the first time he said have to. So yes, okay. So the question is, do you want to do it while you still have runway left, or you want to wait until you might be out of runway and it'd be too late?
Yeah,
So the bottom line is, if you've got a client that does not want to, and they have a need, not just like, I hope I can get it. If I don't, I'll die here. And they're not behaving like they should, meaning their actions are contrary to their goals.
Emotional.
Just ask them, well, what's your plan?
Mm-hmm.
And they don't believe me, there isn't one.
Right. And how I've done that too, guys, ask them, is Don, this might be a dumb question, but is keeping home an option?
no, I don't think so long term.
Mm-hmm. And what's giving the home away look like?
Well, I had 500,000 in my head as a giveaway. That's probably about maybe a break even. So could I get 510, 520, 525?
I'm not sure. What do you owe on it?
About 405.
Okay. So it's possible you have a little bit of equity.
Little.
Okay. So which pain would you rather endure? The pain of selling it and getting everything out of it that you can, or the pain of you just let the runway run out and you get 100% of nothing?
I'd rather have something than nothing.
Okay. When would you like to get this going?
Well, you're the first one that has kind of put it that way. So let's chat. What can we do?
Okay.
I just need a solution.
Yep.
All right. Now, is Tiff what, number 7?
Yes. Mickey Mantle.
Tiffany, are you in Epcot? You're not in Epcot, Tiffany, are you?
I wish I was.
All right. All right. I didn't think you were here in Florida, but I had to ask.
I'll be there in May.
All right.
All
We'll
right,
see you
here
in
it
May.
is, Tiff. You are going to be role playing with Matt. The seller says if it was priced right, it was priced right. The buyers just weren't there.
The speed. I love this one.
Okay. Price right, but the buyers weren't just there.
Yeah,
Matt,
Tiff.
okay.
It was Tiff. I'm telling you, the house is it was priced right. It just, the buyers just weren't, they just weren't there.
Can I ask you, Matt, where were they?
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I really don't know.
Well, obviously they weren't here, right? But they were across the street at your neighbor's house that sold 2 months ago. So would you would you be open to thinking that maybe there are some buyers out there, but they just were not coming to your house as opposed to the other houses that were positioned a little bit differently?
I guess I don't know what you mean.
So we have our house and it's priced at X. And I know you have 14 bird bass and a swimming pool with dolphins in it. And Joe Schmo across the street, well, he also has 16 bird bass, but his home closed in less time and was able to secure a buyer. Why do you think that is?
Well, it just takes the right buyer though, right? Like, I mean, just the right,
Absolutely, absolutely. It does take the right buyer. How long are you willing to wait for the one buyer to come in?
I mean, I want to be sold in six months.
Okay. And what's the goal after this is sold in 6 months? I feel like I already know this, but where are we going to?
Yeah, no, that's okay. You're going to motivation. That's all right.
Well, yeah, we're going to stay in the area. We're just going to get a home with a little more land. downsize the house, get a little more land.
Mhm. Okay. And in reference to going to your next house, I think I'm kind of lost on this, y'all. I don't know. I really, well, because I didn't know to go to the next house, or what I was trying to do is tie together the motivation of when, all right, Matt, when do you want to be in that home by? What was your
Well, so,
goal?
go back. Remember what we just did with the last one is
Mhm.
Matthew, is keeping this home an option?
Okay. Well, Matthew is keeping this home an option.
Yeah. I mean, we could keep it if we had to. I don't want to. Home's too big. I want
Hmm.
more grass, less house.
Hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
and could we stay here? Yeah, but it's too much. My electric bill's not going to go up if I have more grass and less house.
No, just your time outside does, but I guess that's what you want.
Yeah, but as the rest of my hair falls out, I'll be okay with mowing the lawn.
So I'm
Good.
gonna call it time here, because the crux of this issue is the seller thinks that his price is right. It is a buyer issue. Now, if you set up your listings properly, we use the three outcomes,
Hmm.
that conversation up front, and you repeat that conversation up front. And did I lose my camera again?
Yeah, you lost it. I'll
Yes.
be right back. Somebody's at my door, but I'm still here.
Okay, so okay, so you can't see me, but you can hear me. My battery must be bad again. So what if you explain them, and I have on my screen, Tiffany, you're the seller. Well, we've had 3,800 people pull your house up in a search. We've had 4 showings in 6 months. So let me ask you, if you had a store, here's the parallel. If you had a store in the mall where you were selling ladies' blazers, and the mall had traffic because they did a lot of marketing, a lot of cool things, you had 3,800 people walk by and look in your window. They saw what you had. Only 4 people walked in that tried on a blazer. And you know what? They looked at the price tag and put it back. What would you think was the issue? What would you do if you owned the store? Tiffany?
Well, I think that I'm going to blame the mall.
Realistically,
Realistically, I think that I mean, I would have to change something in what I was doing.
Or keep
well,
the
if you're
home.
not, if you had to sell something in order to pay the rent, and you had to, move some merchandise.
Oh, I'm going to make it movable.
Okay. Well, my issue is if time might solve your problem, but how does that, if you wait for your house to go up in value, and you're going to you want to stay in the area, buy another house, then that house is going to go up in value. Do you think that's going to work in your favor? You see, no matter what comes up from a seller, they might be disgruntled, their house isn't selling, but there's only one. If you can close a roadblock, one road, which is the marketing issue, if you can solve that, there it is, 3,800 people. They won't have any traction. They have to be irrational. And Matt said, is keeping this house an option? Are you willing to wait 6 months or a year?
Yep.
They don't need to be, but let's say a year from now, you get your number. Well, what's going on with the neighbor, the house you're going to buy?
Right. Yeah. If they want to be irrational, let them be. But then you go back to what it used to, I used to deal with so many irrational people, but it was because most people do have a side of being irrational when they're looking at it emotionally. So then when I learned that the alternative to that is, so you're okay keeping the home. So you take that away from them. All right, well, keeping it might be the best option for you. I mean, eventually the reality, Tiffany, is we're going to be able to get you whatever you want for the property. It's just a function of how long it's going to take us to get there. But then what I did this yesterday with a client, I said, but can I give you some friendly but overly direct advice that you don't want to hear? And they said, yeah. I said, if we wait for the value of your home to go up, guess what? You're going to pay more when you sell. And I didn't go to the value of what they're going to buy. I said, when you sell your home for more, you're going to pay more in exit tax. When you sell your home for more, the home that you're going to buy is going to cost you more. When the home that you buy costs more, you're going to pay more in taxes there as well. So you telling me that you want to wait for your value to go up means that you want to pay more taxes when you sell this, and you want to pay more for the home you're going to buy and pay higher taxes there too. And I let him sit in it.
Sell high, buy high.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, we never really touch on the tax thing, but I know, like, Denny and I get that in intuitively. Like, we understand the more you spend, the more you spend. But the consumer doesn't look at it that way. The consumer looks at, I sell my home for more in pocket. They don't look at the tax ramifications when they sell a property. And when they buy, and Denny and I, oh my God, this is right up Denny and I's lane, and David too, and Judy Faldetta. Anybody in Florida in the past 6 years, guess what the number one call I got after 2022 was, when values went up 50% in 2 years? I can't afford my tax bill anymore. I had a client sell a home in Bradenton, build a home in Bradenton. Their taxes when they sold their home were $3,000. When they finished the build and got assessed the next year, it was $22,000. They can't afford to live in their home because of the tax bill. This is the stuff they don't look at. That's why I'm starting to bring it up.
Yep. Who's next, Don? Anybody ready to play?
Yeah, Tanner wants to come back.
Well, Tanner, you better do a better job. What number do you want? Tanner? He's gone.
Okay. Well, Fan was a repeat as well.
All right, Fan, you're with me. What do you
Number
want?
one. Number one.
Well, I knew you would say that. At that price, we're going to lose money. We can't sell at that price.
We've already role played that before.
Well,
But you
okay.
asked for number one.
Let's go. Let's go.
I mean,
Let's
you
go.
picked it. Come on.
All right. All right. Denny, understood. You can't sell at that price. What price you want to sell?
Well, we're listed at 450. That's what I'm expecting. This offer is like 430. There's no way I can sell at that price.
Okay. Where are you gonna move after you get it sold?
We already have a house.
Got it. Why you want to sell this one?
Well, you would know by now. I mean, we don't need this house. We're moving across town so we can join the Bird Bath Society.
Oh, okay. And is keeping the house this option?
I know you're reaching in a drawer and just throwing a bunch of stuff up there. So I'll stay with you. No, we're going to sell it one way or the other. I mean, we're not pressured to sell it, but we don't need the expense of this house.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
And
understand, we bought this 2 years ago. We put in new flooring. We built the bird bath backyard, and so we're just not going to give it away.
Okay. If we have been doing this for the next 3 to 6 months, we're getting those offers. What is your plan?
Well, I think it's somewhere in 3 to 6 months. I mean, I think the market will improve and we'll be able to sell it at the number, the 450. I can't do it at 430.
Okay. Let's just sit for 3 to 6 months.
If you keep saying 3 to 6 months, you're painting yourself into a corner. It could be 3 to 6 years.
You're gonna get the Robert Reneker, but you said You said 3 to 6 months, fan. It's 3 to 6 months later. How come I can't sell my home for 450?
Okay,
You're no
land
longer my
plane,
realtor, my friend.
Matt, land a plane with me. Come on.
Yeah. So here's it's probably a little too late in the role play, but I would ask what when you say lose money, I think I know what you mean, but help me understand, what does losing money look like? I mean, what
That's
gives you?
what I was waiting for.
Yep.
That and okay, so I said it twice. I said I can't sell it at 450.
Mhm.
Okay.
What can you sell it at?
Yes. What can you sell it for?
But you break it.
Sometimes when they say something, you've got to be thinking, okay, well, there's another side of that. I never said I had to have 450. 430 was wrong. 450 is what I wanted. I can't. I mean, what did I say? I said I can't sell it. I can't sell it at 430.
Mhm.
So, well, I don't know. I may be able to come down 5 or 10.
Okay. So if we got what I'm hearing you say is if you got a cash offer tomorrow for 440, closing terms and conditions in your best interest, you sell.
Yeah, but you've got an offer on the table at 430 and I can't take that.
Okay. So how would we like to respond?
Well, I would go 440 with them.
Okay. Can I ask you a really direct question and you know that I'm on your side?
Now notice he's setting himself up. He did not use the H word. What is the H word? Can I be honest with you?
No. Yeah, I want to ask you a really direct question. But I need you to know I'm on your side.
Okay, what is it?
What will you do if we counter them at 440 and we never hear from them again?
That's called the takeaway. You've got to take it away from them. The mistake a lot of agents make in that scenario is they're yippy skippy. Okay, like a puppy.
And they buy into it, Denny. That's what
it may die. It may die on their end.
Mhm.
Well, I mean, I can't afford to do it. All right, so now, okay, let's fast forward on this. You presented their firm at 430. No, they came up. No, they're firm at 430. I can't afford to sell it at that price. I'll lose money.
You want Fan to try?
Sure.
Fan.
Yeah.
Come on. This is
what-
it. Sorry, go ahead.
What's losing money looks like to you?
No. He just said you went to him and you said, Denny, they're firm at 430. And Denny said, I can't do 430. You go.
Okay. So Danny, what would it be the price you would like to go without losing this offer?
Well, we counted it 440. I've got 450 in it. I bought the house, the improvements. I got to pay you. I'm leaving my favorite bird bath. Come on, work with me.
Denny, I'm in the very beginning, I'm with you. I'm with your team. So again, I'm everything I can to work with you. Now, the buyer, on the other hand, they're looking at a house. They're gonna offer you this price, and then I just don't want you to be um
So I tell you what, I know you're trying to verbalize this and English is not your first. What are you trying to say? Because there's a shorter way of getting there. What are you trying to get out?
what is the price that you
I've already told you. I counted at 440. I'm already losing money.
is it okay to lose money?
I'm
Anybody
sure.
else can take over, man. I appreciate it, man. This is tough. I'm being tough on you.
No, and this isn't it. Don't think I'm not laughing at Fan. This is a real scenario. And the what I was going to say earlier, most realtors, and probably a lot of the realtors on this phone call right now or on this call, would buy in wholesale to whatever Denny said earlier. I can't. Okay, well, we'll go back to them and we'll see if we can make it work. They buy into the craziness. So don't buy into it. And the one piece of advice I'll give, I want somebody to jump in with Denny. Don't buy into Denny's numbers either. Denny's saying, well, I got 450 into it, but the reason you're having difficulty a little bit, fan, I think, is you're buying into that number. Forget what he has into it. It's this is what the market is saying. Then we just have to find out from Denny, well, okay, they're at 430, you're at 440. They're stuck at 430. Assuming, tomorrow, Pat, you go to sleep tonight and you wake up tomorrow and this buyer is gone. They've bought another home or they're no longer interested in yours and we don't get anybody else on the hook. Are you going to be disappointed over $10,000?
So in the last couple of minutes, David, that's what you put in the chat. So he just reset it for you. So Matt, just reverse roles. I'll be the agent. You take over my persona. Yep. And all right. So I'm going to ask a question. So
yep.
If there's not another buyer out there that's not going to pay 440, what's your plan B?
When you put it that way, it seems pretty silly. Essentially, if I said I'd keep it, I'm keeping the house over 10 grand. So I don't know, Denny. I just want to feel like I won, and I wouldn't be at that.
Okay, so if you felt like you won, this would be okay then, right?
Or if I felt like I wasn't losing, obviously winning is the opposite of losing, but yeah, I feel like I'm losing right now. I got 450 in it and the number's low. It just hurts.
Okay. Now I've got a couple of ways to go on this. And so I'll just pick one. Okay. So let me ask you, how do you calculate, you said you're losing because you paid X, put money into it and you're not getting every dollar out. Is that why you're defining losing? You have more invested than you're getting net.
Yeah, I guess that's the way I'm looking at it.
And are you quantifying your net loss at around $10,000?
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah.
Okay, so how much does it cost you to own this house? And you really have two houses now, so you're paying for one house you don't need. What does that cost you a month?
$4 grand.
Okay, so if it didn't sell in 3 months, you're not only have lost another, well, that's $12,000. So now instead of $10,000 loss, assuming it sells for the same thing, you're now doubling your loss. That could be a way. Here's the other way. Let me ask you, Matt, have you ever bought a house before and you won?
Yeah. We sold at the peak of the market in 2007, right before the crash.
And what were your winnings there?
I mean, we bought the home in 1908 for 2 packs of Skittles and a Band-Aid, and we sold it for $1 million.
Now let them pound their chest because they're going to feel like proud of that. Okay, so then let me ask you then, so when you put all of your transactions into a bucket in a blender and were to pour it out, would it be a positive pour? Have you won more times than you lost?
100%. Yeah, we've done well. This is the only I think that's the problem here, Denny. This is the only loss. I don't like to lose. This would be the only one that I didn't sell for more than I bought it for.
So if you walked into a casino and had a great run and you doubled your money, yet the last hand of blackjack, you lost $50, but you still almost doubled your money and you walked out, would you call yourself a winner?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still up quite a bit.
Well, isn't that like this situation?
When you paint the picture that way, it is.
somehow you have to paint a picture. And I gave you two ways. One is the cost to carry. The other is not everyone's going to win on every hand, you guys. And Matt's old enough to have owned a couple of houses. And I talked to someone, in fact, my daughter's meeting with him today, bought in 2003, and they're upside down $30,000. But they told me when they left the other state to buy here in 2023, I'm sorry, 23, they had made 100,000. They're still up.
Yep. And guys, where I go, I take the latter path in most scenarios, and I add to that. I'm referring to Denny's scenario. I take the latter path and I add to it. Well, and I'm looking at Don. Don, when you bought this home 5 years ago, was the only reason you bought it under the guise that you'd make money on it in the future?
Yep.
The only reason you bought it.
Path 3.
No.
Right. So unfortunately, if we're committed to selling in this market and not keeping the home, this might not be the market that you win in, or you may not be able to sell it for what you bought it for. But you just confirmed that was not the only reason you bought this.
Right.
So which pain would you rather endure? You sell for what we can get right now, and we know we can get 430 for it within reason. Or would you rather the pain of you keep it, you pay $4,000 a month forever and ever, amen, and you may end up spending $100,000 in the hopes of making 10 more?
So you're asking me how good a gambler I am.
Yeah.
Well, you maybe never heard this line, but let's just get out of Dodge. Take the money and let's get me out of Dodge.
Okay.
Kenny Rogers need to hold, know when to hold them, when to fold them, when to walk away, when to run. So you guys, appreciate you being on. Susan, you're extremely quiet. Maybe it's, I don't know what it is in California. Maybe it's the smog. But did you guys learn anything today? Let's share with what you heard that was worthwhile, please.
I want to hear some ahas, because today was one of the days where a conversation I had yesterday, we revisited a lot of it with the client. I talked about how I put him in a corner. So let's hear it.
I'll jump in. So, Kristen Denny often says to me, you don't have to learn anything new, but sometimes you have to be reminded. And your pizza analogy just was a great reminder. So that's what I got. Anybody else?
Yeah, I love analogies. Those never get old, and I think most people can relate to them. I popped one in the chat. If you bought stock for $500 a share and you needed the money and you had to sell, but it wasn't selling for 500, would you sell it for what it was selling for today, or would you wait for it to go back up?
Yeah, classic one there.
Yeah, which goes and that's right in the same vein as, hey, is keeping it an option? Because guys, here's the thing. When we practice radical detachment, and when I say radical detachment, I just mean we don't care. We care about the person, but we don't care about the decision they make, meaning we let them make their own decisions and their own volition. When you practice that radical detachment, it's okay. Whatever they decide, don't be so attached to the sale that you aren't of service to the individual. Because sometimes keeping it is the best option.
My parting remark is this. I said this, I may have said on Recon, talking about, I asked Chad about the value of Super Bowl tickets. And when the game is announced, do they go up or down in value as the day of the Super Bowl approaches? I was surprised to find out on the typical seats, the general admission for $5,000 a piece, they go down. However, what if you sold it? What does the price happen if you sold it at the end of the first quarter? How about halftime? At some point in time, if you wait too long, there's no value because it has an expiration date. Remember this concept. Real estate does not have an expiration date, but timing's imperative. So if your horizon is long enough, you will win.
The only way you can, I call that outlasting your viability. And you can do it in real estate, but but we won't talk about it today. But in developing areas, when you have huge tracts of land that are being sold off to a developer, if you've got 5 acres and somebody sells the 6,000 next to you and you hold out for a higher dollar amount, eventually you won't be able to get anything for it because they'll have just developed everything around you. So you can outlast your viability, but that's not what Denny's talking about.
All right. I appreciate you guys being on. I'm gonna go charge my battery so I don't lose my camera on Monday. So appreciate it. Have a good weekend. Love you, mean it, Knuckle Bump. Be careful out there. We do appreciate you. Bye-bye.
Hey, if anybody's selling Super Bowl tickets, I'll take some.
Yeah, they're on sale.
I'll tell you my stub.